Deep History Explained presents a journey into one of the most unexpected discoveries of modern archaeology. In early 2025, deep inside the ancient sands of Abydos, Egyptian researchers uncovered a tomb that instantly shocked the entire archaeological world. It was not just another pharaoh's chamber. It was the resting place of a ruler who does not appear in any known records. No inscription matches him. No ancient scroll mentions him. And yet his tomb was more elaborate, more symbolic, and more secretive than anything discovered in the last 50 years. Today we explore the mystery behind the lost pharaoh found in 2025 and why scientists still cannot identify who he was. The story begins in January 2025 when a team of archaeologists working near the ancient Abydos necropolis noticed unusual ground vibrations while scanning the sand. Abydos was already famous for being one of the oldest royal burial sites in Egypt. Many early pharaohs from the 1st and 2nd dynasties were buried there. But the scanning team found something too symmetrical to be natural. At first, they assumed it might be another noble tomb. Nothing extraordinary. But once they began excavation, everything changed. As the sand cleared, a long granite corridor appeared. It was cut with precision, far more advanced than what was common in the early dynastic periods. The walls were polished. The floor was leveled. The corridor extended almost 30 meters underground. But the most surprising part was how perfectly preserved it remained. No collapse, no erosion, no looting signs anywhere. It was as if the builders designed it to stay untouched for thousands of years. Deep History Explained takes you next into the heart of the discovery. As archaeologists walked deeper, they saw a series of carved symbols they had never encountered before. These were not typical hieroglyphs. Some resembled early pre-dynastic symbols, while others looked like experimental markings used before the full hieroglyphic writing system developed. The mix made no sense. It's almost as if the tomb was built during a transitionary period or by a ruler who wanted to hide his identity intentionally. At the end of the corridor stood a black basalt door. It was so heavy that researchers had to use hydraulic lifting equipment to open it. When the door finally shifted, they saw a chamber glowing faintly with golden reflections. Torches lit up the rest of the room and revealed something that stunned everyone. A perfectly preserved wooden sarcophagus, decorated with red and black paint, surrounded by items that suggested power, wealth, and ritual significance. But there was no cartouche, no royal name, no chronological marker. The identity of the pharaoh remained completely hidden. Inside the chamber, archaeologists uncovered ceremonial weapons, obsidian knives, leopard skin garments, and golden bracelets with symbols that had not been cataloged before. There were no signs of rushed burial. Everything was intentionally positioned. Whoever this ruler was, his burial was planned with care, yet there was a strange contrast. High-quality items mixed with unusually old ritual symbols, as if this pharaoh existed in a forgotten timeline or in a period yet to be fully understood. Deep History Explained now moves into the moment the sarcophagus was opened. After carefully brushing away centuries of dust, the research team lifted the lid. Inside, they found a remarkably intact mummy. The facial structure was sharp, the teeth mostly present. The body wrapped in linen, that carbon dated to roughly 2800 BC, that placed him near the end of the 2nd dynasty, but not perfectly. Something did not match. The wrapping style was not consistent with that era. The resin used was different. And the amulets found on his chest belonged to a period that should not exist at that time. Scientists ran DNA tests and skeletal analysis. What they found made the story even more mysterious. The mummy did not match any known royal bloodline. No record of him in king lists. No match with known dynasties. It was as if an entire page of Egyptian history had been erased. Even more confusing, the mummy showed signs of ruling power, such as ceremonial scars and crown pressure marks on the skull, but not a single record in the historical archives mentioned his reign. Deep History Explained continues with what experts now believe. Some researchers think he might have been a short-lived ruler whose existence was erased by his successor. Others believe he may have belonged to a breakaway royal family that ruled only a small region. And a few archaeologists consider a more dramatic theory, that he might have been the pharaoh responsible for a political collapse or religious rebellion that later kings tried to delete from history. Ancient Egypt had a strong tradition of erasing unwanted rulers from memory. Damned kings had their names removed, their faces scratched out, and their stories destroyed. This lost pharaoh might have been one of them. Another possibility emerged when experts studied the carvings again. Some symbols resembled early star chart diagrams. These were not common for the era. It suggested the pharaoh might have been connected to astronomical worship or early calendar experimentation. If he introduced a new form of worship, later kings may have erased him to preserve political unity. Ancient Egypt was highly protective over its official religious system. Any challenge could rewrite history. As investigations continued, something else stood out. The tomb had no signs of struggle or hasty sealing. It was built with great respect. It means he was not hated at the time of his burial. His removal from history came later. It's most likely by a powerful successor who wanted to reshape the narrative of Egyptian kingship. This makes the discovery even more important. It opens a window into a chapter of Egyptian history that may have been rewritten or intentionally hidden. Deep History Explained highlights why this discovery matters today. Modern technology allows researchers to re-examine forgotten chapters of ancient civilizations. Radiology, DNA sequencing, advanced carbon dating, digital reconstruction now give us the ability to rebuild lost identities. But even with all these tools, this pharaoh remains anonymous. A ruler without a name. A king without a written record, yet buried with undeniable power. Experts believe more chambers might exist near the tomb. The corridor angle hints at a potential second burial. If another tomb is discovered holding a queen or a royal child, the identity of the lost pharaoh may finally be revealed. Till then, archaeologists continue scanning the region and preparing for further excavation. The discovery has already changed what historians knew about early Egyptian dynasties. It proves that there were rulers whose stories never reached official records. It also proves that history is incomplete. And sometimes, buried beneath the sand, is a truth waiting thousands of years to be found. Deep History Explained concludes by reminding viewers that archaeology is not just about uncovering ancient objects, it is about uncovering forgotten lives. The lost pharaoh found in 2025 stands as a symbol of how many mysteries still lie hidden beneath the deserts of Egypt. One discovery can rewrite an entire chapter of human civilization. And as new technology continues to evolve, we may soon reveal the identity of this forgotten king. But for now, the mystery remains unsolved and continues to inspire curiosity across the world.